What is meditation? It's pretty clear that mind training or meditation of one form or another is going secular. It's no longer just associated with religion or even with spirituality. And I believe that it won't be long before corporations realize the very great advantages to having employees with some kind of mind training. And when that happens, meditation is going to go public big time. It will no longer be just considered alternative. No longer just an alternative. It will be mandatory. As I say to myself, what college diplomas are today, mind training certificates will be tomorrow. I just believe that will happen. Anyway, what I'm pointing out here is that although mind training is an integral part of Asian religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, and many others, it can also stand alone by itself, secular, just as it is used by all these religions. It's nothing particularly religious about the technique of mind training. As I've tried to explain in other audio blogs like this, that mind training is a method to develop greater awareness and not primarily a religion or religious, spiritual, or whatever you want to call it by itself. However, mind training combined with some form of spiritual practice can be very potent indeed. It's unfortunate that the general public is confused about just what meditation is. The confusion stems from the fact that here in the West, we have a single word, meditation, and that word has to cover an enormous variety of practices. The practices that people actually do, and they call them meditation. I want to mention just a few of them here. I imagine each has its own use and value, so I'm not putting them down. For example, many people understand the word meditation to mean something more like contemplation, taking a concept like compassion or impermanence and turning it over and over in the mind, looking at it from all angles, contemplating it. Others speak of guided meditations, where somebody, a guide, talks them through a guided tour or journey into some section of the mind or experience, often with the eyes closed. Still, others speak of levels and going deeper and deeper into beta or theta and so on. There are many Christian meditations that are forms of prayer, and Muslim meditations that tend to focus on Allah, often by reciting the Holy Scriptures from the Quran. Many forms of meditation make use of sounds or mantra, like reciting a short series of Sanskrit or other language syllables in a constant but clear manner, and then focusing on the sound. There are dozens and dozens of New Age meditations which tend to focus on just sitting quietly, eyes closed, touching on or into some common spiritual essence that we all share, and thereby refreshing the mind. And incense and candles often help to set the mood. Lava lamps, I don't know. And there are even still other methods of meditation that recommend the ending of all thought. And still others that point out that any meditation method and effort whatsoever is not meditation, and that non-meditation, no meditation, that's meditation. And there are methods like transcendental meditation, the one that was used by the Beatles. which advocates the silent use of a mantra with eyes closed. Practice 10 to 20 minutes a day, twice a day, and going deep within that. Anyway, I could go on and on. My point is that there are scores of meditation methods, so it's no wonder that anyone interested in mind training is immediately confronted with their own ignorance of these many methods. How would you choose? And since each of these methods requires patience and lots of time before any results appear, who can afford to shop around? It's easier just to avoid the topic altogether for many people. Now, I may have one up on my readers because I was introduced to meditation at a very early age. And this method was popular when I was a child. My very first mantra, which my father presented to me, was O Wa Tegu Sayam. And he told me to recite it over and over again, and I did. And then he had a good laugh on me because I was saying, oh, what a goose I am. And that was his take on spirituality in general. It didn't help me a bit, and it's no wonder that many of us have avoided any type of meditation for most of our lives. We just don't want to look foolish. Trying to sort out and judge the merits of all these forms of meditation that are out there, that's not my goal here either. For one, I've not tried most of them, so I don't really have a good opinion. However, there is a kind of consensus as to what meditation is. So let's start with the word meditation itself. It comes from a Latin word meditare, which means something like simply to concentrate. Most, or at least the majority of meditation methods, the ones that have lasted centuries, involve concentration of one sort or another. To my understanding, the most common form of meditation, the one that's practiced in Asia, in countries like India, Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, Sikkim, Japan, and many parts of China, is called Shamata. It's a Sanskrit word that simply means calm abiding, to let the mind rest. And it's about learning to allow the mind to just rest. Now, this is easier said than done, as most of us who have tried it, we well know. Shamata is the main form of meditation that's used by Buddhists, including the Tibetan and the Zen Buddhists. And although the names for it may differ, this is the one that we're going to be considering here. If you want to know about the most prevalent and ancient form of meditation, 2,500 years or longer, it appears to be shamatha of one kind or another. And there are different kinds of shamatha, but they all accomplish the same function, which is allowing the mind to come to rest naturally.